Hello, I am Hati and I welcome you to yet another screencast from Couch. I have been playing around with CSS animations and transforms lately, and frankly I'm loving it. So I decided to make a tutorial about creating animated isometric illustrations using just HTML and CSS. I am using my favorite editor again. As you can see, it's called Brackets. It is from Adobe. Thanks to its live preview feature, you will be able to see any changes I make in the CSS and HTML instantly in the browser window here. So to start, let's create a blank HTML page first. Start with the doc type. I'll add the head and body sections to this page now. In the body, let me add a div that serves as a base or platform for my design. Inside this div, there will be another div, and I'll call it a square. So, time to apply some CSS styles to these two divs. First, I'll be styling the platform div. Let me set its dimensions first. It has a width of 300 pixels and height of 300 pixels. This platform will be a square. Next, I'll give it a gray background. Now, to position this div correctly in my browser, I'll be using the position absolute style. And set its left and top to 100 pixels. Yeah, I hope you're seeing the changes in the browser live. So it's now time to use the transform property. First, I'll apply a rotate X transform of 45 degrees. As you can see, this doesn't do much, but once I apply the rotate Z transform as well, it will begin to look like a pseudo-3D plane. Now I'll use a transform style property and set it to preserve 3D so that I don't have to apply the transforms again to the square div. Okay, this div is done for now. Let's move on to the square div. The square shall have a width of 150 pixels and height of 150 pixels as well. For now, I'll give it a teal background. I can use position relative for this and set the top and left to 50 pixels. Alright, this already looks good. Now time to add some animation to this. I will be creating an animation that makes this square rise from the platform and then drop back to it. So I'll be changing its translate Z property ultimately. For now, let's start by giving a name to the animation. So I'll give animation name, I'll call it Bob because of the up and down movement. Next, use the animation duration property and set it to 2 seconds. I want this animation to repeat forever, so I'll set the iteration count to infinite. And for the to and fro movement, I'll use the animation direction alternate property. Okay, let me create a keyframes animation called Bob now, because that's the name I've given to it. It will have a from block and a to block. Just so that I've got everything right, let me test it by just animating the top property. So the top of 50 pixels, let it move to top of say 100 pixels. And yes, as you can see, the animation is working. So I got the keyframes syntax right. So let's move on to actually using the translate Z property. I'll delete this. Now use the transform property and set the translate Z to 0 pixels in the from. And in the to, let it move up by 30 pixels. Yeah, so this looks much better. But once you add the box shadow property to these animations, then the 3D movement will look a lot more realistic. So I'll start with the box shadow of 0 in the from, and I'll also set the RGBA to 0, 0, 0, 0, which means it is just not visible. In the to, however, I'll use 30 pixels for the shadow, and I'll set its alpha to 0.5 should do for now. This looks good. Let me just play around with the position of the shadow. Till it looks good enough. This is okay, a little more perhaps. You know what, I'll set it to 30 pixels because we moved up by 30 pixels. Yep, this looks perfect. Now all we have to do is change the colors of these divs. They don't look too good, so I find the colors from the material design colors palette very appealing, so I'll be using that. Let me just open the material design colors page. Now for the background, I'll be using a shade of gray, not gray, blue-gray. This looks good. Let me just apply that to the platform div. And for the color of the square, let me choose something a lot more bright. So let me pick this orange. And I think we are done. This already looks cool. Yep, we have a cool CSS animation now. Hope this screencast was useful to you. I'll see you again sometime next week. Bye.